Ilia Topuria potentially could be the most confident fighter I've ever watched in the UFC on the mic, and that's including people like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was very, very loud, very obnoxious, very in your face, screaming he was going to kill you, but that's fighting talk. That is just fighting talk. I'm going to kill you, I'm going to end you, like, you're going to this man's going to have nothing for me, da da da. Ilia Topuria, it's almost like a deep-rooted seed to his core, to his very being, that he is just untouchable. Now, let me give you a few examples. Whenever anyone's referring to the fight this weekend against Charles Oliveira at UFC 317, International Fight Week, he's saying, I know I'm going to win. I know I'm going to knock him out in the first round, but I just want to make sure I dominate him. Like, in his mind, he's impossible he loses. In his mind, that losing is not going to happen. It's not even an option. He's just trying to figure out how much he can dominate on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, this whole point of the video is, first of all, to reiterate my points about Oliveira and Ilia going into tomorrow night, but also just to sit back and think, I think aura wins you fights. I truly do. I think aura just completely... Aura can very easily win you a fight. Now, Ilia Topuria could lose this weekend. Now, I believe he very much could. I'm so 50-50. I'm so on the fence with it. I have put money on Charles Oliveira just because of the huge cash return. Everyone counting out Charles. Charles in himself, he's illuminated by God. What will be, will be. But stylistically, this is a very tough matchup for him. Ilia finds your chin. He finds it often. He hits extremely fucking hard at 145. Will the power carry over? That is the question. Oliveira says he's going to go forward. Ilia says he's going to try to go forward. We'll see about that. Ilia Topuria is fucking always confident, but I feel this week it's just been another level of, yeah, I'm going to kill him. Yeah, I'm going to kill him. Like, I'm trying to articulate myself correctly here. In Ilia's mind, he knows he's going to win. Now it's just preparing to dominate. And it's just preparing to make it as flawless as possible. Ilia does get hit. People see his flashy, huge knockouts, but forget the build up to that. Yes, he makes reads very well. He's very accurate. He's very sharp. Volkanovski had him marked up. Volkanovski caught him a few times. Ilia doesn't roll with shots. Ilia moves his head while moving forward. But he only goes backwards when being pressured. And I want to see if Charles actually will run at him, throw a few tapes to the body and engage. And like the bull and the matador. Clash. Oliveira can get it done as well, folks. I'm not saying Oliveira... I'm saying Oliveira is going to win. I think Oliveira wins, to be honest. Now, aura wins you fights in a lot of the instances at the lower level of MMA. Charles Oliveira has had Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, Beneil Dariush, the who's who of the lightweight division across from him. Michael Chandler, who's disposed of twice emphatically. He finished 4 fights in 15 minutes as a lightweight world champion before losing to Islam Makhachev, compared to Khabib defending the belt twice in 2.5 years. You know, so there's no comparison of who is the better lightweight contender. Obviously below Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is undoubtedly, despite his title defense record being 4, but not the best defenses. Yes, a featherweight twice, Renato Moicano on literally 1 day's notice, and a Dustin Poirier on 5 weeks' notice. You know, it's not the best resume compared to Oliveira, who has really fun, really exciting fights, but does get dropped every single time. He gets hurt very bad every single fight. I can see a world where Charles Oliveira throws a lot of kicks to the head early. Now, this is something Ian Gary did against Carlos Praches very well. He threw, obviously, Carlos Praches as a southpaw with that left hand. Ian Gary threw loads of head kicks at that left hand, instantly swelling the left arm up, instantly making that a defensive tool, and you're not thinking about it being an offensive tool. This is something Shoot to Box came up with, and Ian Gary and Charles Oliveira train that Shoot to Box. He'll be in Oliveira's corner this weekend. I think Charles Oliveira beats Ilia Topuria. But, I'm going to get so much hate for this, but If Ilia goes out there and knocks out Oliveira, I will not be surprised. That's standard. Like that's what should happen if you sit back and look at the two styles. Ilia Topuria is a fantastic featherweight. The man is fucking tiny though, and I know a lot of the time size does not matter when you've got the skills to pay the bills, and Oliveira's older, Oliveira gets dropped. Fuck, my mind is telling me Ilia, but for some reason I feel the underdog getting this one done this weekend. It would make so much sense, just what's happened in the UFC all year, the results we've had, the kind of way cards have been swinging, like fuck. Ilia's confidence is what will win him this matchup and any other matchup he has if he gets through Oliveira. It's very difficult to get short opponents back as well against the cage because they've got less torso to squeeze a leg in through. You know, they've got the short little stocky body and the maybe slightly longer arms for the frame that they can use to build off the ground with and keep their elbow tucked. You can't get your leg in. Ilia Topuria, poor Charles. He's not just telling himself this. The guy truly is untouchable in his own mind. And he could be one of those fighters, and as soon as the confidence goes, he's just... I've seen... Like, he said it best. If he's losing a round, in his mind he's thinking, I'll get you in the next one. Even when he's not in control, mentally he thinks he's in full control of this fight. He draws you into his game. He said... Let him try meet me head on. He's going to try and do this. He's going to try and do that. Almost as if saying he's going to have no success. But Holloway was having success. Volk won the first round. This guy, it's not like this guy has went out there and never shown any weakness. He's shown a significant amount of weakness. You know, he was held down by a few people early in his career. Yes, he disposed of Ryan Hall, but he's just a pure jiu-jitsu guy with a bit of a taekwondo background. Disposed of him. The Josh Emmett performance was fantastic, but that was just two short, stocky men and the faster, more athletic one getting the victory over the course of 5 rounds. You know? Didn't finish Josh Emmett. He finished Volk 3 months after Volk was brutally knocked out on short notice. You know? And lost the first round to Volk. And then he beats Max Holloway and finally cracks Holloway's chin. But Holloway had just built himself up to 155, then tore himself down again. And Ilia made those reads against Max, which is fantastic. You know, when Max was switched southpaw, Ilia would then pressure him. So he does make those adjustments on the fly. He does have the power to put people away. But at the same time, Holloway was having a lot of success. And Holloway is not an Oliveira. Holloway's a more slick, pick his shots, then put the volume on. Oliveira is a marauder. Oliveira is a cannon. Oliveira's going to run at you and say, I'm illuminated by God, let's meet head on head and see who comes out alive. Shoot to box are notoriously known in Sao Paulo for heavy sparring and hard sparring. It's probably why Oliveira gets it hurt quite a lot, dropped quite a lot. You know, he cut open all the time. You know? Dana White even said it. What are these guys doing to each other in the gym to where Oliveira has so much scar tissue? And before the Islam Makhachev 2 fight in the October, he was cut over the eye. But we have seen Oliveira lose a lot to an Arman Tsarukyan in a very close fight where Oliveira almost got the win, but Arman's going to play it more patient. Ilia Topuria is a difficult stylistic fight for Charles, but Charles could very well go out there and get it done. I have met Charles Oliveira. He's a big, stocky, thick boy. This weight cut will be hard, but Ilia's will be too. Ilia will be full of energy. Charles will be full of energy. This is a crazy good fight. Oliveira's a huge underdog. If you could put £1,000 on Oliveira and make $4 back. I think I've got about £30 on Oliveira, and my logic behind that is, if I was paying £30 for the pay-per-view, which I am, I'm just going to pay another £30, you know? Fuck it. It's like I bought the pay-per-view twice. That's the kind of my mindset of it. I mean, I pay the pay-per-view anyway, but I get it with a subscription service, TNT Sports, rather than, you know, like the ESPN module. Ilia Topuria, in his mind, is untouchable. But Charles Oliveira is du Bronx. And he's fighting for his baby. Like, he won a belt for his daughter. And now he wants to win a belt for his new... He's fighting with a spiritual edge. And I can't explain it, but I can see Charles being dropped and almost finished in round 1. Ilia going back to the corner, kind of smirking and shaking his head like, oh, I'm going to get him next round. And then not getting him. And you get to round 3 or 4, Ilia's up, Ilia's winning. Then all of a sudden, oh! Charles rocked him! And Ilia's kind of scrambling to his feet, and Charles sinks in a Darce choke, flips him onto his front in a headlock, in a guillotine. Straight away, Ilia's holding on. Ilia taps. He sits up and he's on his knees with his hands on his hips, kind of looking around like, did that really just fucking happen? Did I really just throw it away? I can see a world in where Ilia Topuria is winning that fight, but then for some reason, an unexplainable reason, he throws it away. And Oliveira gets back into the fight and finds a finish. Call it a higher power, call it what, I can just see that so fucking clearly in my mind. And everybody is picking Ilia, and I understand why they think Ilia is going to make it look easy. Like, folks, I 100% get it. I agree. Ilia Topuria could very easily come out here and make it look easy, which I believe he will do, but not find the finish. And then out of fucking nowhere, I believe Charles de Bronx Oliveira, bang, oh my God, type of moment. You stand up out of your seat type of moment. And a sort of John Anik thing of, you all must have forgot type moment. You all must have forgot who this man was and where he's come from. And he's fucking big as well. Oliveira's huge. Oliveira's 6 foot. Just under 6 foot, right? A tall 5'11". Like, he's about my height. I'm just slightly over 6 foot. He's a teeny bit shorter than me, but he's thick. I'm going Charles Oliveira, guys. I'm going Charles Oliveira. I think he finds it. He's crafty, he's fun to watch, he puts a pace on people. Almost in a weird way of like, what the fuck did Ilia just do? Like, Ilia shoots a bad takedown and gets caught. It'll be something where people are saying, Ilia was beating him on the feet, why would he shoot a takedown and get submitted? It'll be that type of thing. Why did he throw it away? Thank you very much for watching, folks. See you guys tomorrow night for the live stream, Sunday, 3 a.m. UK time. Be there, be square, and we'll be watching the fights live for you, folks. We had a really good group of people watching last time. It's going to be a huge event in the moment. When Ilia and Charles are in the cage, it's going to be like, yeah, you literally have the matador and the bull in that cage, and it's... If Ilia wins, it's better for the UFC, better for the division, the young, hungry prospect. But I just have a feeling that no one is talking about Charles, and I can see the upset in my head, but I can see the upset in where Ilia Topuria fucks it for himself. And says, you know, I was absolutely dominating. I wanted to show I'm a complete fighter by shooting takedown. And then fuck it, he got me. I can see that. I can see Ilia Topuria dominating on the feet, get to round 3, maybe he's breathing slightly heavy, he shoots a takedown, gets in half guard and gets like submitted or some shit. Like, I can just see it. But I kind of want Ilia to win so we can get Paddy versus Ilia, build the UFC up, build this brand up, build the channel up. That's, everyone wins if Ilia wins, but not yet. Not yet, son.